Yeah. I know sometimes when I'm going around, like, people litter a lot. You know, they'll smoke a cigarette, throw it on the ground. They'll finish eating something, they throw it on the ground. Juga, you know, with the burning of plastics and burning of waste on their sides. A lot of stuff that I know, like, oh, that's, you know, very unhealthy for the environment. Hello. Yeah. So now we're in the hat production area where a lot of these, you know, kids and people from around the village can work from the comfort of just a few minutes walk from their house. Yeah. So sustainability is not just you know, having the idea to create something out of trash. Sustainability also is a communal involvement. Inherently, sustainability is creating a healthier environment. But you cannot create a healthy environment without involving the community. Although I may be an American working in Indonesia, I believe as I continue to work, we can really create a communal effort behind creating a sustainable and cleaner Indonesia. So as we work together, we can bring Indonesia back to its natural beauty. We can still grow, but, you know, keep our rivers clean, keep our gutters clean, keep our roads clean, and create a less smoggy Indonesia. So it started off with a hat just because I like to wear a lot of hats originally, and I thought it would be interesting to try making a hat because I noticed no one is making hats out of trash, like on like a big scale. So it's easy with hats because it doesn't use too much material. They're very light to transport between here and America, and I believe that all people can wear hats. Yeah. And now we have a finished brim wrapped around a plastic bucket that can be ready to be put onto a hat. After seeing the abundance of alternative materials that would work for making hats, I was surprised that no one had done it yet. So it's a cool project for me to work on with, you know, artisans at S12 to really create a difference through a fashion accessory. The very big problem in the fashion industry of, you know, fast fashion, which is people who are buying new clothes all the time and throwing them away. So a lot of that leftover extra material can still be used. So what we want to do is save that material from being thrown away. So what we do with Topiku is we employ ethical manufacturing through the help of S12, as well as incentivize local manufacturers to hold on to pegang to their waste, so it doesn't get thrown away.
Berapa bisa bikin berapa tuh? Kayaknya 2 meter.
Harus dicoba dulu soalnya kan pakai ini kan harus seragam.
Yeah.
So the way we encourage them is First of all, by working together, like everything, it's a process, so it takes time to develop and really make a change. So initially, I think Rian and Kang Asep were a little bit confused. Like, oh, kenapa mau pakai daur ulang? Like, why do you want to use trash? Like some of the materials is a little worse. Tapi I show them like, oh, we can create a hat, create a story, and then I can sell it in America. And bagus because S12 can reach a bigger market, and then you can really change the price of waste. Something young, would just be thrown away. Now you can raise the price, put the story behind it, and start to, create a profit that can be reinvested into the community to help clean it up.
Juga last minute buat Selasa
sekarang.
25.
Bagian kain ya. Kain ini juga recycle, dalamnya juga yang ember kemarin recycle itu juga. Semua topiku terbuat dari bahan-bahan recycle. Hampir 95%. Ini dari bahan katun. Untuk bahannya lumayan agak sulit nyarinya. Soalnya kan tidak setiap pemesanan ada. Misalkan Monty sekarang pesan lagi, pengen topiku seperti yang dibuat pertama kali. Untuk yang kedua kali kemungkinan bisa enggak. Soalnya kan kainnya terbatas, bisa beda. Soalnya kan temanya juga recycle ya, jadi nggak mungkin sama ya. Sisa-sisa si kainnya juga bukan satu roll, kadang beli 1 kilo, ada yang satu lembarnya 1 meter, 2 meter gitu.
Iya, sekarang orang itu kerja.
Saya juga sangat kagum lah, dia konsep topinya kan bikinnya dari bahan-bahan sampah gitu. Ya bisa manfaat lah. Kalau bahan limbah kan ini dari alat-alat topinya kan ada juga dari bahan limbah. Kalau buat limbahnya nih bahan kayak gini. Iya. Itu dari apa, Kak? Itu dari bahan bekas-bekas ember gitu, ember yang berupa plastik itu. Terus dibikin jadi alat namanya tiber gitu. Itu ada kan dari orang-orang yang khusus jual kain limbah gitu. Ya, itu khusus limbah-limbah gitu.
Baru kali ini cukup unik juga sih, ada tantangan baru. Kalau topi pasaran juga itu emang dari recycle yang bahan depannya aja. Kalau yang lainnya semua grass kalau buat topi gitu.
So Topiku may not be the world's first recycled hat. Nanti you can look up on Google recycled hat and you'll see a lot of creative ideas. Tapi gak ada banyak yang, that looks casual, something you can wear with everyday outfit. So with what we're trying to do with Topiku is really create a alternative to a hat. They're redefining how a hat is made. The way we do that is by using waste materials. So the main brim of the hat is recycled from plastic buckets dari ember. So it's crushed, melted, and then remolded into a brim. Yang kulit ini, it's all waste from leather shoe production and leather belt production. That's from a neighboring village in Cibaduyut. And then the main base of the hat and the cloth is all upcycled waste from garment production. What we have on my side is all the crushed plastic bucket. So all the ember sekarang lagi dijemur, habis di crush over di situ. Yeah. Tempat recycling ember, recycling plastic buckets. So we can make brims and bills. Yeah. Ini semua ember bekas. So for the bucket waste, this is already a process that's been established by S12 because it's easier and cheaper for them to get buckets, waste buckets that are salvaged. They crush them and melt them and then make them to the brims instead of using new plastic. So they get those from private businesses that collect the plastic buckets from landfills around the area. Make it themselves.
So they do this, they grind it up first,
Yeah.
and then they
I don't know how to help a chicken though. And then with the garment waste, that comes from also the local pasar, so the little areas where you can buy fabric. But instead of buying the rolls, we buy all the offcuts. So the ones that people less want to buy. So we incentivize these manufacturers to hold on to their waste. Yeah. As a developing country, Indonesia faces a lot of the growing pains, such as a lack of proper infrastructure, so roads, piping, and then other problems such as waste management. So waste management is a huge problem in Indonesia. We don't have enough facilities or resources to be able to manage where the waste goes or how the waste is collected. Sekarang, I don't think there is a official government organization aside from the Ministry of the Environment yang bisa manage and regulate where the waste goes. So ada banyak orang yang they decide to just masuk sampah on the side of their street and just set it on fire karena gak bisa masuk kemana-mana. So what that does is it releases carbon dioxide, a very poisonous gas, and people breathe it in, they get sick. And it also contributes to climate change, global warming, leading the air to get a lot hotter. Yeah. Ideal condition. So what needs to happen is we need more access to waste management. So what is a luxury for me that a lot of Americans take for granted? Every week we get our waste collected, and we personally sort it from recycling and trash. Tapi, every week it gets collected and then sent to landfills, and then the government and business organizations work with recycling it. Sekarang in LA, roughly I think 76% of trash gets diverted, yang enggak buang to landfills, jadi bahan recycle. Tapi di Indonesia sekarang, roughly 64 million tons of waste, according to Jakarta Post, get sent to landfills each year. Tapi only about 30% gets recycled. So masih ada banyak yang just ends up piling. And then obviously, once it keeps piling, the wind blows it and it ends up in the ocean. Juga Indonesia is the #2 ocean polluter in the world. So masih a long way to go. So here is where the crushed plastic buckets, after they're washed, get transformed into brims that go into our hats. So this material enters the tops of the machines, and out come these brims. There we go.
This is how they lift the machine.
And then the ones that are mistakes get re-crushed and then masuk machine lagi until they can get a good brim like this. Yeah. Lima. Yeah. part of their process. So they make all there's brims for all their hats. Topiku has helped the environment by helping divert several several dozen meters of fabric, as well as helping to reduce the amount of plastic buckets that ends up in landfills. So as we continue to work on our process, we can help to divert and prevent more waste from ending up in landfills and encourage the reuse of other materials. So as we've been working together with the communities here as well, they've been opening up their minds to using more materials, more alternative materials, as well as starting to explore changing the norm of how hats are usually made.
Pakai air untuk memanaskannya, pakai boiler.
Oke, yang
Jadi,
boilernya.
Untuk pasokan listriknya berapa persen gitu, sedikit.
Iya.
Karena udah diganti sama boiler.
Iya.
Jadi untuk pemanasannya tuh digunakan air mendidih. Ini pakai kayu bakar, dipanasinnya pakai kayu bakar. Jadi pemakaian listriknya itu sedikit sekarang. Kalau dulu sehari itu pakai listrik bisa 1 juta sehari untuk listrik. Tapi untuk kayu bakar ini paling 350.000 itu untuk 3 hari. Jadi keluar asap masuk ke sini, asapnya jadi buat pemanas.
Oke.
Gitu.
Ya, keren.
Pemanas.
Ya, steam lebih apa? Lebih sehat. Ya,
Ya.
ya. Less. It's more of a you're independent, not dependent on the surrounding grid. Yeah, yeah. When we're using waste materials, some of the material can be a little bit too thin. So with the laminating process, what it helps us do is create a more rigid and durable material, as well as to help for sweat wickering. So if you're sweating, it absorbs the sweat a little bit better, and it's not as lumbek, as like loose. So the cool thing about these machines is they press the materials together, and it does require a little bit more energy and electricity. So what's really cool about Bu Emma is that she actually didn't have enough power to run off the local power grid, so she created her own water boiler, and we'll show you in the back. She made it herself, and with the extra energy, she has a tofu factory, a tahu factory. So she has to use all the extra energy and reuses it. Hi, I'm Monty Hassan. I'm from California, and I'm the founder of Topiku. In my daily life, I am a student in USC, which is a school in Los Angeles. And during my summer breaks, I work on my hat company, Topiku. Although I was born in America, my family is from Indonesia. So I spent about the first 5 years of my life in Indonesia, but then the rest in California. But every summer, I come back to see family. And then about 3 years ago, I was doing social work, working at a social organization that works with trash picking communities, orang pemulung yang di sampah di Jakarta. And they really showed me that you can create products out of waste. Tapi sepertinya produknya yang dibikin were pretty ugly, like nothing of good design. that I personally thought. So I proposed them a hat idea, a hat made out of trash, tapi they rejected it. So habis itu, the summer after, I came back to Indonesia to start working on my project, Topiku. how did I meet the artists in Chigondewa? The artisans, it's kind of a funny story. So about 3 years ago, as I mentioned, I wanted to make hats with the social organization I was doing work with. But then they rejected my idea. So the following summer, two years ago, I was looking for a hat maker. And itu saya cari on the internet, okay, where can I find a hat manufacturer? And I found one website. So itu was not S12, it was a factory. Yang kondisinya saya nggak tahu, tapi I knew that, oh, they can make a lot of hats. So on the way to the area, we ended up in Chigondewa. Habis itu lagi hujan, and then it was starting to flood because of a lot of trash in the gutters. So banjir, habis itu we had to turn around. So kita, we were lost, we didn't know where we were going, so we stopped and asked for directions. Itu ended up being the the house of Kang Asep. So we said, hey, how do we get back to Bandung? And he said, oh, like you go up this road. And then he asked, like, kenapa like ada orang bule like you in this desa? And we said, oh, we're looking for a hat maker. And he said, oh, we make hats, kita bikin topi. So, it was a fate that we met one another. A big part about it is just understanding how obvious some things to me might be that might not be obvious to Indonesians. I know sometimes when I'm going around, like, people litter a lot, they'll smoke a cigarette, throw it on the ground, they'll finish eating something, they throw it on the ground. Juga, with the burning of plastics and burning of waste on their sides, a lot of stuff that I know, like, oh, that's, very unhealthy for the environment. And that's something that's not aware in Indonesia yet. So what I want to do is bring that awareness of, hey, I know you're still growing, I know you're still developing, tapi we can avoid a lot of the problems that Americans have already made throughout, the years that we've been developing, and help Indonesia to grow more healthy and more sustainably.